I used to reapply lipstick in the elevator before meetings, and it was not because I cared about how I looked. It's because I knew that there was someone who would. And even when you ace the presentation, ace the interview, ace the tone, the goalpost doesn't even move. It vanishes. Have you ever just tried on outfits and like nothing felt right? Everything felt like you were trying to play this game of like outfit roulette professionally. Something feels kind of off all of the time. I have seen my boyfriend get ready in the morning and he has the same outfit practically every day. When I get ready in the morning, I am internally spiraling about finding an outfit that was not worn too recently, that is conservative enough to be taken seriously when I'm in the workspace, but not looking like I'm stuffy. And I want to look like I have creative ideas without looking like I'm unprofessional. And it's just this internal stress that I feel. And especially when I'm wearing things that I already own, I am constantly worried that I am being an outfit repeater because the dress that I really want to wear today is something I wore last Tuesday. And it might be a little too bold for a brainstorming meeting. The thing is that we are always dressing to survive someone else's opinion. You're not alone if you are feeling this pressure. It's real, it's heavy, and it could be costing you close to $50,000. And if you ever felt like worrying about clothes is a first world problem, I completely understand that. When your outfits can influence your confidence, your credibility, and your income, it's a little bit more than just fashion. It might be survival economics. Real hot girls really believe data, so let's get into the numbers. And you've probably already paid part of that $50,000 or already dished out $50,000. This is how much the average American woman, and yeah, I'm going off of American women because I am one, this is how much we spend to be considered polished throughout the workplace. Run the Runway actually published a study saying that women spend close to $2,000 annually on clothing, including apparel-related services like laundry and dry cleaning. I actually think that could be undershooting, and that itself could get you to $20K, but let's go off some other sources. NBC Miami cites a study that women spend about $125,000 on their clothes in their lifetime. So if we're discussing an average American woman like me who has a 25-year career, let's talk about the numbers. So according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, women spend $655 annually on clothes. Hair and nails estimates kind of vary, but a moderate figure is around $1,000 annually, which is very conservative in my opinion, which is instantly, without even thinking about, $25,000. Then if you're talking about shoes, the average woman spends $208 annually on footwear. On average, women own about 11 handbags costing $160 each. The average American spends $78.14 on jewelry every year. That is $1,953. So if you calculate all of those numbers together, you actually get the grand total of $50,288. That's a college degree at a state school 3 years ago. There's this creator I love, Money with Katie, who has this thing called the Hot Girl Hamster Wheel, where you are on this perpetual journey to be considered a hot girl. And I 100% agree with it because I feel like I am perpetually spending my life and my time and my energy on trying to look better every single day. It's endless. It's the new trendy clothing. It's the perfect bag that can hold your lunch and your laptop and your dignity without screaming, "This is a work bag." It's not even just the outfits and like the makeup and the mascara. It's the time. It's the stress. It's the mental load of wondering, do I look like I care too much, but not enough? And here is a very wild and very deeply distressing stat ever since I've learned it. Women with higher BMIs tend to actually make less money, while men who have higher BMIs don't have that correlation. In 2022, The Economist posted this piece confirming that women's weight is actually negative correlated with their income. That bias is expensive and freaking rude, if you ask me. I really don't believe that women should have to shrink their bodies to make more money. So not only are you carrying the weight of how much it costs to look good on a daily basis, clothes-wise, making sure you're not dated in your outfits, and having to make sure that your face is perfectly beat but not too beat where you're not considered demure, you are also facing the weight of making sure that you don't gain any weight and getting calories in your head. So overall, this is costing you in both time and finances. The grooming tax is very real, it's invisible, but it's real. We're not even making the same amount as men. Now, some of us thrift, some of us spend less, as yours truly, I love thrifting, but the number isn't the point. The pressure that we are experiencing is. And even when we're frugal, we are still paying in other ways. And we have to face this fun little thing. We also have to face this double bind of either not being enough or being way too much. We have to find a good balance between looking polished and looking too feminine. You are expected to be a woman and demand respect. Pink lipstick is fine, but just make sure it's not too pink. Women are actually taken less seriously if they're too girly. I was actually contemplating wearing one of my favorite linen dresses, and I was a little nervous to wear it to work because it was giving trad wife, which doesn't really look good in an office. But I didn't wear it, and I really am bummed out because I love that dress and I should have worn it, and I'm going to wear it next Monday. But a study showed that 68% of hiring managers preferred women who wore makeup over those who didn't. And over half said women who were considered well presented and offered this information. Women who were not considered well presented were less likely to be hired. This is something that a lot of women in corporate America feel. This is not just randomized studies. Another report said that 78% of women in corporate America feel that they're judged more critically on their appearance than men. Men, on the other hand, do not feel this pressure. They still feel pressure, but not as much. There are men who no one would even bat an eye if they decided to wear a hoodie to work. And honestly, I don't blame them. I totally would too. It kind of gives off this cool confidence vibe versus, I'm wearing sweats. Men do have dress codes. I want to disclose that. Men have dress codes and they are not the same. The stakes are different. Women aren't just dressing for respect. They're dressing to prove that they belong. But I do think that it's inherently very weird and a little sexist that men can't wear shorts. And yeah, I'm going to use sexism saying that it favors women over men. I think men should be able to wear clothes that are comfortable in the summer, especially someone who lives somewhere where it's really warm. There was an Australian TV anchor who wore the same blue suit every day for a year. The same suit. Changed nothing. Wore the suit every single day. No one noticed. He did not lose an ounce of credibility, but his female colleague definitely did not have the same experience. And we have to do this because here's the kicker. Attractive employees get paid more. Women who have to pay more to look the part because there's a financial gain of them spending that time and effort to look better. It's not fashion or beauty. It's a financial system disguised as a dress code. And that's a terrible catch-22. Physically attractive women get paid more due to the halo effect, but women actually can get paid less by grooming less. So it makes economic sense to look the part. You basically have to buy your way into being taken seriously. It's kind of like getting a communications degree, which we love because I'm a liberal arts girly. Even when you are doing everything right, even when the dress code is perfect, when you have nailed it, when you have gotten that dress to blazer combo down, suddenly the goalpost moves because you age. Suddenly you're supposed to be Anne Hathaway level graceful, no visible signs of aging, no tweaks allowed, just magically preserved, just looking exactly the same. And this is insane. I love Anne Hathaway. She's a beautiful woman. And I also want to disclose that there's no way that's natural. The reason why people are like, oh, this is how you look when you just are unbothered. No, she has money. This affects more than just a performance or how we're perceived. It also can affect your confidence. It can affect if you get promoted or not. It affects your socioeconomic standing, which I love that for us. And let's be honest, this credibility tax is not even at all. Size, race, gender identity, age, multiply the cost. Studies shows that women of color face way stricter appearance standards than white women. They have to dish out way more time and effort to be considered professional. Ask any Black woman about their experience of showing their natural hair at work. A lot of them can confirm. Women can throw their hair in a messy bun and be totally fine, and it's casual chic. God forbid that you wear a bonnet. And older women, they're expected to age like fine wine without ever showing signs that they ever had grapes. I also want to touch on the fact that this is considered frivolous spending. We always say frivolous spending a lot of times when we talk about it of something that's considered much more feminine, like getting your nails done, getting your hair done, getting a designer bag, getting a mantra with your friends. It feels like it's so inherently feminine that we're judging women for spending this money, but they have to. And no one is batting an eye when men are like, I I bought a new truck to take me to Costco. But the Dave Ramsey of the world are thinking so small. They're not taking into account that women spending money on their appearance, spending time on their appearance, spending that investment has a literal investment. It might be a bad one, but the data seems to be confirming that it costs more to not spend that money. I spilled coffee on myself on my way into the office 3 weeks ago, and I was so embarrassed because I had this giant coffee stain, and I decided to grab a promotional sweatshirt and wear it into the office, and I braced myself for judgment, and I got none. Actually, I think people thought it was really chic because I was wearing like a promotional sweatshirt, like my company's sweatshirt and trousers, and so I think people thought it was a vibe. But I really did let it affect me. It affected my work. I feel like I was stumbling a little bit more. I received no comment about my company's swag, but something shifted in me where I found myself caring so much more about my appearance than how other people perceived me. I actually started wearing more of what I liked from that moment on. I noticed other women I admired, wearing bold colors, wearing bows, headbands, just bringing their best feminine self. I one time saw a woman in a meeting giving very harsh, direct feedback that made the room freeze, and she had a ribbon in her hair. And all I could think was, this queen has a woman in her hair, and she is terrifying the entire room. A true icon. And after that, I just started wearing what I loved. Same tone, same workload, and no one noticed, except for me. The only thing that I noticed is that I held my head a little higher and my eyeliner made me feel a lot better. I feel the same way when I'm wearing matching underwear. Like, I just suddenly hold myself different. And when I was a little bit more casual and dressing down, like today, I felt like I wasn't doing my best work. And that's when I realized it was more about how I felt in the clothes versus how I actually decided to dress or what people thought about what I was wearing. So when I put on my work outfit, I'm more like playing a part of a woman who can kick butt at her job while still thriving with ADHD. I am someone who likes to wear a lot of blush, but also max out all of her investment accounts. This is something called enclothed cognition that I'm going to touch on a little bit later. But now I am viewing my outfits almost as like a signal. It's almost like I am showing you who I am today. It is for me, not for them. That I am a kind of woman who will max out my Roth IRA and also is going to buy another type of blush. If you have been watching my channel, you might have noticed that I make a lot of content about work. And that's probably because I go into work 5 days a week like it's 2013. I spend majority of my week there. I'm not here to like dish out gold stars for being business casual. I really do believe that you should be dressing to show confidence, which is what I do. You don't need to cosplay as a corporate robot to be taken seriously. You can be soft, you can be bold, you can be outspoken, you can be shy. You can wear bows and still lead and terrify the room. Dressing for work is not really about following rules. It's about owning your presence. Going back to enclothed cognition, there was a study where people were getting these, where they were giving out coats. One said painter, one said doctor, and you will never guess who performed better. And it really wasn't about status. It was about internal belief. And my doctor coat happens to be rented clothing. Like, I wear a lot of rented clothes, so I'm constantly on trend. And also I would have a lot of credit card debt if I did not rent my clothes. But my outfits aren't timestamped by trends. What I talk about on here is not about timestamping for trends. It's because I'm investing in assets, not aesthetics. And I want to give the illusion of polish without draining my bank account. And this is also not about pushing product. It is about pushing back on the idea that you have to spend constantly, that you have to be on this hot girl hamster wheel to be credible. I love style, but I'm not here to worship the grind. If your thrifted clothes give you the same confidence as a very expensive blazer, then there's a really good chance that your professionalism is no longer performative, and I love that for you. So I don't really believe in dressing for the job you want. I believe in dressing for the woman that you are. You can love bows and lipstick and like shiny eyeliner and whatever the hell you want, but it has to be for you. It's not supposed to be anti-feminine. It's supposed to be anti-performative. And honestly, if you did not get a job because someone was like, well, she wasn't wearing makeup, then you probably dodged a bullet. Your appearance is not supposed to be a battleground. I honestly used to dress like I was apologizing, like I wasn't supposed to be in every room I was supposed to be in. And now I dress, but I more act like I belong in every room I enter. And some days that is a full-blown suit. Some days I'm looking like a younger Hillary Clinton. And some days, like today, it's stretchy jeans and a t-shirt that I did not realize was see-through until I started filming. Rebellion doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes it's like tinted lip gloss. I just want to close with this, is that you do not owe anyone polish. You might owe them a slide deck, but you don't owe them style, and you definitely owe yourself peace. you.